April 5, 2017. A young man pedals into the foggy heart of Olympic National Park. Behind him, a hand-built trailer packed with survival gear. Ahead of him, miles of remote forest, river valleys, and silence. His name was Jacob Gray, 22 years old. The next day, his bike was found. His gear was neatly laid out beside the road, but Jacob was gone. No footprints, no blood, no note, just the forest, and a mystery that still has no clear ending. Jacob Gray grew up in Santa Cruz, California. He was quiet, contemplative, and spiritual, a thinker, a dreamer. He journaled often, wrote poetry, and spent much of his time exploring the outdoors. Friends described him as kind, with a gentle soul, but also someone who kept to himself. In the months leading up to his disappearance, Jacob had moved to Port Townsend, Washington, where he lived with his grandmother. He worked odd jobs, saved a little money, and spent long hours alone in thought. He was searching for something. Peace, maybe, or purpose. He didn't tell many people what he planned to do next. No farewell post. No goodbye. On April 5, 2017, Jacob loaded a custom-made trailer onto his silver mountain bike and began pedaling toward the wilderness. The trailer wasn't random. It was prepared. Inside was a tent, sleeping bag, food, a camp stove, climbing spikes, a Bible, a bow and arrows, poetry books, and a water purifier. It looked like someone planning to stay gone for a while. Jacob didn't seem afraid of isolation. If anything, he welcomed it. Jacob headed into the Sol Duck area of Olympic National Park, a misty, mountainous region filled with rivers, old-growth forest, and very few people. Sol Duck Hot Springs Road winds through this landscape like a scar. It was here that a ranger first spotted his bike and trailer, April 6th, just one day after Jacob had set out. The scene was surreal. The trailer was parked neatly beside the road. A tarp was spread. Arrows were standing upright, planted into the earth. Nothing appeared to be disturbed. It was as if Jacob had simply vanished. Rangers began a passive search. No helicopters, no drones, just a few boots on the ground. When nothing turned up, volunteers began arriving to help. Cadaver dogs were brought in. One dog reportedly caught a scent, but there was still no sign of Jacob. The only thing they had was silence. Jacob's father, Randy Gray, arrived within days. He was immediately concerned that the search was too slow, too soft, and so he began his own. Randy drove across state lines with nothing but a change of clothes and a determination that would stretch into months. He slept in his van, waded through rivers, and hiked alone into dangerous terrain. He was relentless. "Where the hell is my boy?" he once said. "I just want him back." Randy questioned rangers. He spoke to locals. He reached out to native trackers. He met with psychics. When one lead dried up, he chased another. Volunteers joined him. Some were strangers, others were friends of Jacob. They searched ravines, riverbanks, cliffs, and drainages, but each search ended the same way, with nothing. Summer turned to fall, fall to winter. The posters faded. The media moved on. Randy remained. At times, he was the only one still searching. He slept in the woods, sometimes for days, surviving on campfire coffee and hope. In July 2017, a piece of clothing believed to be Jacob's shorts was found downstream from the original site. It was a break, or so it seemed. But the DNA test was inconclusive, another dead end. As the months passed, the National Park Service quietly scaled back the official search. A file remained open, but the effort faded into background noise. August 10th, 2018. A full 16 months after Jacob disappeared. A wildlife biologist studying marmots near Holo Lake, more than 10 miles and thousands of feet above the original site, stumbled upon skeletal remains, a wallet, gear, pieces of a tent. And then, bone. DNA confirmed it. Jacob Gray. The terrain where he was found was steep and treacherous. It would have taken significant effort to get there. No one could say for sure why he went that way, or how. The coroner found no evidence of trauma. The death was listed as most likely natural. Hypothermia was the unofficial explanation, but the mystery only deepened. Why did Jacob leave the road? Why climb higher into dangerous terrain with no clear trail? Was he trying to live off-grid? Did he have a spiritual goal? A vision quest? Was he overwhelmed by something we'll never understand? Some believe Jacob experienced a mental health crisis. Others suggest it was a deliberate pilgrimage, a solitary ritual in nature. Then there are the details. The arrows planted upright. The Bible opened to certain verses. His choice of gear, symbolic in some ways. The silence from the forest is louder than any answer we've found. Jacob Gray wasn't the first person to vanish in a national park, and he wouldn't be the last. In October 2016, just 6 months before Jacob set out, another young man disappeared, under eerily similar circumstances. His name was Chris Fowler, a spiritual man, an experienced hiker. He vanished on the Pacific Crest Trail, with no confirmed sightings, no known gear left behind, and no remains ever found. 2 different men, 2 different trails, but the forest tells a familiar story. Jacob Gray walked or rode into the wilderness alone. And for a long time, the forest kept its secrets. Even now, we don't know why he vanished, or how exactly his journey ended. But in the quiet woods above Solduck, one thing is certain. Jacob was there. And then, he wasn't. Next time, on 30-Minute Mysteries, the disappearance of Chris Fowler.